Hello, fabulous superstar Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2025. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. And a limited number of consultations are available with me or with Andy of Wise Ass Astrology over the course of this summer. New dates have just been released of availability. You can learn a lot more and book your reading now. Links are below. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boys, at a very special time, and it truly is so special now. Powerful energies are with us. And it is this month that the very big news is set to find us, and that is Jupiter changing signs. That's right. On the 9th of the month, Jupiter moves out of the foundation of your chart, right? This very private, home-oriented part of the sky, and it's ready to come out and have fun. And so it is Jupiter that moves into a part of the sky for you that has to do with fun, happiness, windfalls, gambling. It has to do with the children in your life, your own fertility, whether that's physical fertility, fertility of ideas, abundance of ideas as well. And it also has to do with an understanding of fulfillment, including creative fulfillment as well. Jupiter brings blessings. Jupiter expands possibilities. And just about anybody I've met, when they have Jupiter go through this part of the sky, it tends to represent a time that feels romantic and filled with promise and potential. Now, here's the thing though, it might not feel like that at first, and that is because of what Jupiter is doing, the connections it's making as soon as it enters this part of the sky. And really what it is that there's going to be an energy here of needing to be honest with yourself even when it's hard, of maybe not being able to get what you want or not being able to get it right now, of taking a chance that maybe doesn't work out, or if it does, it leads to outcomes that feel disappointing or disillusioning, feeling like perhaps you trusted yourself, you went with your heart, and it all just kind of washed away. And that can be disappointing. However, what's really happening here is that space is being created so that what is going to bring you a genuine happiness, perhaps the kind that you haven't even imagined or conceived of just yet, a kind that is way more satisfying than you can imagine, well, it's that kind of happiness that ultimately is going to desire to rush in some way now. And so we have here Jupiter on the 9th changing signs. And as Jupiter moves into fellow water sign Cancer, you're able to access its energy that much more readily. And this is a lucky part, a luck-driven part of your sky. But it is on the 15th and 19th of the month that first Saturn and then Neptune, respectively, will square Jupiter. And those are energies of tension. Squares of Saturn represent feeling as if you can't get what you want, even if you wish things were different, no matter how much you work, no matter how much effort you put in. But it does help you to evaluate the sacrifices you are making or have made and whether or not they're still worth it. Sometimes this is just delays or patience to really move through that eventually will pay off. But sometimes it really is realizing a certain path ain't it. Squares of Neptune are disappointing, they're disillusioning, and this is that factor that feels as if things could just wash away, especially what you felt you really wanted on a heart level. But it's not just this. As we move forward, it is the sun that'll change signs, and then on the 22nd and 23rd, for Saturn and Neptune will square the sun. And then on the 24th, the sun and Jupiter will meet in the sky. Now, some astrologers call this the luckiest day of the year, but this year, a lot of that luck ends up being negated where, because of the disappointment, because of the restriction, because of the uncertainty, we don't realize how fortunate we actually are at this time. And the good fortune is in the things that are not working out, the things that feel like they are not coming together, to find comfort and solace within that. But for all that, we have a new moon on the 25th, and this new moon is the sun, Jupiter, and the new moon tightly close together, and they three together will be squaring Saturn and squaring Neptune. But here's the thing. that new moon will also be speaking in harmony with Mars. And at that point, Mars will have moved into your opposite sign. In fact, on the 17th of the month is when Mars moves into your opposite sign of one-on-one alliances, connecting with other people, and helpful people as well. People who are on your side. And so it is going to be people, your key alliances, that remind you of your power, that remind you of what it is that you have to be genuinely excited about and enthusiastic about. They become part of you creating a plan and understand the opportunity that is available now that there are certain things that aren't panning out or didn't work or are not meant to go forward. Regardless of what it is that takes place, remember, the closure, the confusion, the uncertainty is necessary. It is necessary so that bigger blessings can come rushing in, and they are right around the corner. Once we get to that new moon and we move forward, that really is when those energies of those tense squares of Saturn and Neptune, they really start to ease, and the benefit of that harmonious Mars energy, well, it starts to amplify for you that much more going forward from there. You're going to have just over a year of truly fortunate energy at play and lots of moments to enjoy it and take advantage of it as well. And we'll walk the journey together. Pulling back a little bit, let's talk about what happens on the 11th of the month. We will have this month's full moon, and that full moon takes place at the top of your sky, having to do with career, social standing, life purpose, and your understanding of a higher, more loving vision for your life. This full moon is speaking in supreme harmony with Mars, and Mars is moving through a part of the sky that has to do with your work life, your daily life, what you do well, what you repeatedly do. And so you can see here, if you're on the career track, if you are somebody who's working, this can be a time of a lot of energy and enthusiasm. A time that feels positively as if there is a fulfillment of opportunity, there's more visibility, and there might even be recognition, maybe even reward for what it is that you do well. And that can be part of what helps you to feel that much more lifted, that much more inspired going forward from here. It could be that there's an achievement of a goal that matters to you outside of career. Now, this could also be a sense of legacy, a sense of destiny, or a sense that you're aligning with a higher, more loving vision for your life, and what you're seeing and what you're sensing, it's lighting you up, bringing that much more joy and that much more adrenaline for the pathway ahead. So very good career vibes, success vibes on offer around the 11th of the month. Where it comes to matters of love. Love is a big deal with a sky like this. In particular, I'm thinking about Jupiter and the fact that Jupiter is in that heart part of the sky. In addition to the things I mentioned, that also has to do with romance and flirtation. And so those vibes are going to be with you for over a year. But of course, this month, all those squares make it as if romance itself and love itself might feel disappointing, or what you want in love is not as accessible to you. You feel like you can't have it, or you can't have it just yet. This is a necessary condition. The new moon in particular, though, it has its measure of appreciation of what isn't working and what didn't work. But what we have is Mars in your opposite sign by that point. On the 17th, when Mars moves into your opposite sign, it brings with it a month and a half of being very motivated to connect with another person or to spend more time with another. You're pouring a lot of energy in that direction, and you're behaving in ways that are more courageous, that are more empowered where it comes to one-on-one alliances in your life. And there's every reason for a lot of enthusiasm in the context of fun and love under the light of that full moon. The sooner it is that you can find acceptance for the disappointments and what didn't work, the more quickly it is that you're able to move towards the excitement and the enthusiasm of Mars and its harmonious connection to that new moon. For those of you open to meeting someone new, look where Jupiter's moving into, where that new moon is, And especially with Mars in your opposite sign. Look, Jupiter, new moon, flirting. That's what that is. You're getting your flirt on. But Mars in your opposite sign makes you that much more inclined to want to partner up. And as such, it'll have you putting yourself out there more adamantly, more fervently, and wanting to connect with someone else in a meaningful way and in real time, in real life, physically so. And that can be part of what feels like it connects you to another. And there will be options available to you, especially under the light of that new moon energy. For those of you just starting to date someone, well, look, it might feel with a month like this that it ain't working out. Or it might feel like this person isn't on board with what it is that you're hoping for. Whatever it is that feels like it's showing up, trust it. Because the truth is, if this isn't someone to navigate forward with, that'll be apparent. It'll be your own frustration, your own disappointment that'll make it abundantly clear. But if it is that this is someone to navigate forward with, well, yeah, you might have a few reality check moments, but ultimately it just invites you to cultivate meaningful patience and then open yourself up to greater possibility and genuine joy and a new understanding of what the two of you could be under the light of that new moon. Whether it's someone new that shows up or advancements with this person, there is a need to have some kind of a reality check, but also to find an acceptance, whether it's in this situation or a past situation, so that you can move forward towards a greater heart's fulfillment. And for those of you in an established bond, well, the overwhelming majority is going to find there might be a desire for some romance, but it might not feel like it's able to be met as much as you might like, especially for most of this month and the beginning of that Jupiter larger cycle. However, once Mars moves into your opposite sign, you're that much more inclined to want to be present with your partner, to pour energy towards them, to bond with them that much more, to spend meaningful time that much more. And especially the understanding that might be found under the light of that new moon bonds the two of you closer together. And it's a renewal of commitment to actually putting in that time to strengthening the love. A very small percent out there, if you felt for a while that you might not be in the right relationship for you, well, let me say, Mars in your opposite sign might make you downright antsy, downright impatient, downright frustrated with this person. And that tells you something about what it is that you might want to do next. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say I love the energy of, well, it's got to be Jupiter, right? Ultimately, Jupiter is always a blessing and in a luck part of your sky. I know it's not apparent right away, but you will find in the months ahead that there is an abundance of opportunity and appreciation that windfalls can happen and an expansion on a level of heart that lets in more joy, more happiness, and a genuine sense of fulfillment that helps you to feel that much more satisfied and that much more at ease. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month. We choose your membership rate over at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com or thefutureismagical.com. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.